as a craft beer, we can do this. Yeah.
What's good, y'all? This is C Certified Brewhead, and welcome to another video here on BAOS Podcast. This evening, I am joined by my glorious partner in life, Tiffany Alexis.
Hello, everybody.
Thanks for hanging out.
Oh, my pleasure.
It's basically just us for the foreseeable future.
I wouldn't rather be quarantined with anybody else.
Likewise. That's so sweet. So, this evening, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to do another episode of Let's Argue. I think we've only done one. No, we've done a few ones we took from a podcast with Nate, shouts to Nate, and then Nate and I dropped. Did we drop an edition with Nate?
I think I've edited 3.
Yeah, either way, there's a few of them.
Yeah, the Untapped one, the Contract Brewing one.
Yeah,
but I think Contract Brewing one only made it to the podcast.
Yeah, that's true. So check the Untapped one. We'll put the link up here.
Yeah,
that was a lot of fun. So this evening we're going to talk about the liquor laws here in Canada, and I guess it kind of, whatever we're talking about applies to everywhere else. Like, should the liquor laws be changed to accommodate beer, wine, and spirits, and the easy flow of those products throughout a given country? So, first things first, speaking of that, we are enjoying right now a cheese and beer and cheese and wine pairing platter from our friends at Le Terroir de Jules, if I said that right.
That sounds right.
In Longueuil, Quebec, just south of Montreal. These guys are doing something brand new. They just opened out. It's such terrible timing for them with all this stuff that's going on.
It's terrible because it's a terrible time to start a business, but it's perfect for the situation.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So while it's difficult to kind of go shopping for cheese, we're actually big fans of that. And we would usually go to the cheese stores here in Montreal. We're very blessed with those. What they've done is there's 4 different, they call them accord. I don't know what
I think accord means pairing.
Pairing?
I think so.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So in the one, I'm pretty sure they're all pretty similar, but we have 4 different types of cheeses. We have 3 different types of crackers and 3 different types of nuts.
Yeah.
And then in the beer one, you get 4 beers, and in the wine, you get 3 wines, and you can choose any 2 of those 3 wines. The one that we have, what are the cheeses that we have here, baby?
So, excuse my French. Right? Yeah, it's all in French, so the French people will love it. This is for Quebec anyway, so
yeah, this is here in Quebec.
The topic overall is for everybody, but the actual board is only shipping within Quebec.
And there's that's the reason why we're talking about this topic.
Exactly.
Yeah, see? Yeah.
There you go. There's always a reason.
Always ties in.
So we have Maton de Haute Saint-François.
Which is, I don't know what type of... That's
goat cheese. That was the goat cheese.
The goat cheese, okay.
Then the Houblonnet des Îles, so it's like Hoppy Island.
Yeah. So we got that one specifically.
That one looks really good.
It's kind of
You'll
soft.
see in the picture.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah, so they'll see
the
B-roll.
I was going to pick it up, but yeah.
Extra strong cheese, so
cheddar.
extra strong cheddar.
That'd be that one, yep.
And then the 40, is 40
14.
14 arpents.
Don't know what that means.
Which I didn't know, but it's a lovely stinky cheese.
14 stinky cheeses.
Oh, and all the wine that came with it was so fantastic. So
they're all local Quebec.
Yeah,
right?
Everything here is local to Quebec. So with this pack, you're actually also supporting all these smaller Quebec businesses as well, which is amazing. I'm loving all the wines that are here.
Yeah,
I have 2 whites that actually come with the box, and then I had a red slipped in as well, which was very kind.
It smells great. That's a Vidal. Is it on the Vidal or that's the other one?
That's
this one.
That's a
cuvee. I don't even know what that means in wine.
Clam.
Man, we suck at French. Sorry, guys.
Our French used to be great. We used to be French students, and then it all just went downhill. It is what it is.
It is terrible. So the 4 beers that I got, one is Oshlag, it's called Chêne Rouge. Actually, it's not going to work because there's 2 of us. It's a red ale. They got Life in the Clouds from Collective Arts. I don't know why I had a blank for a second there. They're actually from Hamilton, Ontario, but they've got distribution in Quebec now, so that is sort of one exception to this rule.
Okay, that's exception, yeah.
There was Blanche from Brasserie Générale, that's what it was. And Bam Bam from Rallebock, Château P.A. He's the man. So the beer selection then are different for every pack, and so is the wine. So this is something that we received the other day, a couple of days ago. It came in this big box.
It's awesome.
Really, really cool. Super impressed, actually. We just did a whole photo shoot for Liquid X Happiness. Make sure you go follow Tiff there, Liquid X Happiness on Instagram, to see the nice photos we're taking. So, the liquor laws.
So, as you can see, this is just a joyous occasion that we're having here, right?
Right.
The fact that you can have beer and wine and cheese and all these items shipped directly to your door. Everyone should be able to share this experience, at least across the country.
Yes.
So I think this is where it kind of came up. Like, we have followings from everywhere, and we can't say, hey guys, isn't this so awesome to be able to get from Quebec? You get this opportunity to get all of this stuff shipped to you. I guess with the cheese, it would be kind of hard. No, actually.
No, if you put them in that cold box.
Because that cold box is
with
pretty impressive.
With a block of ice, they
at Express.
You could probably ship it express to British Columbia with that.
So there you go. So I think the main issue, and that's the one thing that we run into a lot, because obviously we travel and we like to have beer from different places, and now specifically when we can't travel, because the one thing was always like, oh, we'll just go there. Like, instead of, like, why trade when you can go visit? Obviously, like, it's not always in a budget to do so, or there's a few restrictions. But the option to do that is what was there. Yes. Now, we can't travel, and we can't order from anywhere.
No.
So you're just like, we love the places that we live, but variety, right? It's the spice of life.
Even if you want to talk about that, within Quebec, we can't order. So, like, this is the hilarious part. It would be, if, say, Masora and Brasserie, it's probably a $15 Uber, $15 to $20 Uber each way from where we live. Mm-hmm. If they don't deliver, but if they did, it'll probably be a $10 at most shipping charge. It'll cost me $30 to $40 to get there and back in an Uber.
Yeah.
Because it's really difficult to get to by public transit. So that is so redundant. It would actually be cheaper for me to just trade with a mate in BC or see if a brewery could send them to me there. That is just that's the ridiculousness of all of these laws. So
yeah, that's like, come on, like, we're in the province.
Yeah. Like, stop being so...
Did JF mention that there was a reason why...
Yeah, so he didn't say it was a reason, but he said part of their reasoning is that JF, also from Echo Session Ales here in Montreal, shouts to him, he was saying, we did a live, I can't remember if we talked about it, in our last video where we talked about how to support local during the pandemic, so check that video right there. He said that in Quebec have about 5,000-ish points of sale, and in Ontario they have maybe like 1,000 because they can only sell in certain places. So... the restrictions are more there, even though it's a different type of restrictions. Here, they can't have online stores, they can't ship anywhere.
Yeah.
So something you found out just before, doing our research for this, is that Ottawa in November last year, or
October, I think it was November, October, actually cleared the legislation that was prohibiting interprovincial sales. Yes. So direct-to-consumer sales.
Yes.
However, it's the provinces now that actually have to go in and regulate this process and make sure that people are able to purchase in different provinces.
Right.
So our thing was like, what's the holdup?
Right.
Like, let's make this happen, you know? I love BC wine. BC beer is great. Why can't I get it here in Quebec? If I enjoy it, why can't I get it? I'm going to give money. I'm going to pay for it. Why can't we do this? So obviously on the let's argue side, we're both on the side of interprovincial trading should be free, direct to consumer. Not free, but we should be free to purchase.
Exactly.
From direct to consumer, you know, free trade interprovincially. Like, why are there any restrictions around alcohol? Is already just ridiculous as it is. And I think you said the law that was prohibiting, it was like some hundreds of year old.
1928. I forgot the full name of it, but it's like a liquor act.
That was preventing it. So, like, come on.
Depression
times.
Why
are we still keeping laws that were created during that time?
That goes for all of society, and this is an interesting time in history because we're realizing that all of these ridiculous things about, you know, employees can't work from home.
Yeah.
And, like, all these things that we're just clearly continuing to function now, like, they're rules that are made up.
Wow, check it out. Zoom, you could still work using Zoom and still be as productive at home. It's not even more productive.
People are realizing
crazy.
That meeting could have been an email.
Shocking. Or Slack, or an Asana, or anything.
Text message, Facebook message, whatever. It's ridiculous. So, basically, right now, like you were saying, it's up to the provinces. So, Ottawa, our capital city here, have now released that law, so they're like Trudeau saying he freed the beer. I read that, I remember it was BC, Manitoba, and I think Nova Scotia have allowed their residents to purchase wine from outside of the province. That was what the article said, so I don't know what that means. And as well, I know BC can ship. My friend Daniel, shouts to you, bro. He lives in Vancouver, and he told me they do, like they do in Ontario, they can do personal delivery. So, like he said, he orders beer, and 1 to 2 hours later, it's on his doorstep. Alternatively, you can also order it through Uber Eats. So they can order from the brewery, get their food, and get their beers in packages to their doorstep completely legally.
Amazing.
Out of control. And here in Quebec, are you serious? They only had growlers and cool ships like 18 months ago.
Yeah, and I think that's interesting because I guess there are new laws that have been put into place that are allowing restaurants to actually have, like, order food and deliver food.
Yeah.
with a whole bottle of alcohol shows that these things are possible. It's only now in this crisis where everybody's like, oh my gosh, like, let's find all these resolutions, but we should have been doing them anyways.
Yes.
So with in mind the fact that, like, hey, why aren't we allowed to purchase from other places?
Yes.
The only reason, and this is why I would like to know what other people are
We're really
thinking.
trying to find out.
We couldn't find a reason why.
You came up with this one reason?
My only one reason
was
was that it could cause, like, an imbalance, for example, and hurt certain provinces.
Right.
So, for example, if everybody only started buying from, so everyone in Nova Scotia only started buying from BC and stopped buying beer from Nova Scotia, and all of a sudden this hurts the economy there.
Right.
This is the only thing I can think of because I can't imagine why else. And that's why I would love, like, if there is a brewer or company or somebody who's watching or just anyone who understands what the harm is in opening this shipping interprovincially.
The other thing you told me before is that the tax... Because, like, say if we are a business based in Quebec. If we have our Ontario clients, we charge 13%.
Yeah, we charge HST, and if someone's in Quebec, we charge.
We charge the full thing.
And if they're in the US, we don't charge.
It's not exactly, and it's based. It's not where we're based. It's where our clients based.
Yeah.
So then, if you use that rationale, I'm just trying to even answer the question for the damn provinces beforehand. If I'm in Quebec and I order beers from BC, then BC should charge me Quebec taxes.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And they should be exempt from paying BC taxes, and they pay it to Quebec. There's like a complicated thing because even I heard about the, what are they called, the beer delivery programs. I've forgotten which one, but somebody told me there's like a loophole around that where the business is based in Ontario and the way that the taxes are charged, because it's a website, it kind of makes it gray area.
Okay, yeah.
When you're ordering, and because it's not ordering from a brewery. With, on that same note, I'm probably mixing some of that up, but on the same note here, you can order from a dépanneur. And then they can send it, so it's not directly from a brewery either. So I think that just everything is so convoluted and so ridiculous that
free the borders.
That's it. It's redundant, and I don't think enough people we travel a lot. We've mentioned this often. People are proud of their local products and services. Always. I think almost nowhere more than here.
Yeah, like having the option to order from Ontario is not going to stop me from buying from Quebec. It just means I have more to buy.
That's it.
Yeah.
And
maybe you'll save me some money because I don't have to travel somewhere to get the stuff. It'll be easier to just imagine. You should just be able to buy from Twin Sales if you wanted to buy.
Yeah,
and have
from BC. Exactly.
Yeah.
But then if you enjoy the product so much, you're going to be...
Maybe that makes you inclined to
go
even
there,
travel. It
which
helps
is
the
why,
tourism industry.
Thank you. Yeah. Exactly. And that's why we do it a lot. We work with tourism officers to send us places so we can show people how far they are to encourage people to travel there.
Yeah.
But...
wouldn't it be better if they could taste
the stuff and try it first? Because that's the other thing. I post beers from literally everywhere because we're lucky enough to get beers from all over the world. And then people are like, where can I get that from? And I see I look where they are, and I look where the beer's from. Like, yeah, sorry, dude. Not happening. And it happens almost every day. And I think so many people don't realize, particularly newer beer drinkers, don't realize. Like, even trying to buy
the
our
restrictions.
collabs. Yeah, the restrictions are out of control. We did the collab with Echo and Broadway for Valentine's Day in February, and so many people were like, "Oh, can I get that?" And they were all in the States, and I was like,
"Yeah,
what can I tell you? I can't even legally ship to the States. It works it can work, but it's a risk. You're rolling the dice. If you get caught, it's probably I don't know. It's just not really worth it." So the answer to this, let's argue, is yes. All countries should release the liquor laws and just stop the nonsense. There's no reason at this point, no more than ever, this time in history, unprecedented.
Yeah.
Breweries are hurting. I know people have told me that if you DM a brewery, they'll potentially send it to you. They'll probably do it anyway.
But they're probably doing something sketchy that could get them in trouble.
That's it. But that's the us forgiveness, not permission thing.
Yeah.
Not into that. I mean, I don't.
I think in the US though, it's fine.
Do you know what? My friend Rob Shasta, Rob's talking to him in Vermont. They don't nowhere ships there.
No one ships to Vermont?
No one.
Oh,
as in, but they don't do it. I was like, what about, Maine, Massachusetts? And nobody even does shipping there. I think it's all illegal there, too. Which is what I'm saying. The same issues apply in the States. Sorry.
That's ridiculous.
All over. I think maybe different states might have different rules.
Yeah.
But across... a great example in Australia. My cousin did me a favor. Was helping us with our website and did all this stuff for him. There's a website called Beer Cartel. They're based in Sydney. My cousin's in Melbourne. And I wanted to give him something. And he told me years ago, he's like, a case of beer, even though it might be worth whatever, like macro beer, $40 or something, has such a higher value because it's just like you get booze for free. You're like, oh. So I went and dropped a bunch of money on him and sent him like $100 worth of craft beer, which probably got 12 beers out of that. Mm-hmm. But I sent them from Sydney to Melbourne, and I paid for it online and got them shipped direct to him.
There you go.
And that it kind of annoyed me.
How easy it was?
How easy it was. And and they're like a reseller. They weren't a brewery. They're just like an online store. They actually have a physical store as well. But they got a really good online store. They get stuff from all over Australia, and they import stuff from overseas. So Australia even has better liquor laws than here in Canada. So at the end of the day, we want these businesses to survive. This is like keeping the economy going.
Yeah, I don't see that it would hurt businesses. I think it would only further strengthen them in terms of
a national
the revenue that they could be able to have. And one, make the craft beer community stronger. But just for every producer, whether it be wine or beer or spirits,
anything,
they would just give them a larger influx of money, because there are people who are following breweries and thirsting. BAOS has 50,000, probably more. That was like years ago I looked. I feel like they had 50,000 followers on Instagram.
Probably.
All of those people are probably not from Ontario.
A lot of them aren't, because that's the one brewery in the States.
That's money that's
about.
Coming out of their pockets.
My friend in Australia asked me about Bellwoods yesterday.
Yeah, so that's ridiculous, because fine, you don't need to be able to ship to another country because that gets too complicated. But within our country, I don't see why we can't. If we're able to travel within our country, we should be able to purchase direct to consumer in our country.
We noticed we're here in Quebec, and in the SAQ, the main liquor store here, there's we can get Dillon's, which is an Ontario Niagara. An Ontario-based distillery. They make incredible gin. We can get like one or two of their products, but they're extremely expensive in comparison to what they are if you go to the place. But they shouldn't be that expensive. It's treated like it's an import. Yeah. Like we can get Bar Hill gin from Vermont, which we just went to the distillery in Montpellier, like just before all this happened. We just squeezed it in. Yeah. And that same gin, I think, was like $35 US, and it's like, I think it's 80 about $75, $80 here after everything, and even with the currency conversion, you're still saving. It was like $20 or $30. We did the full before we bought it. We're like, let's just double check and see, because it is just in case you get some trouble when you're coming back. Yeah. I'm gesturing to it because it does look pretty right there, but yeah, it's just all ridiculous. So, summary: change the law.
Summary: change the laws. Someone tell us, please, why it hurts, or what the negative implications are of allowing interprovincial purchases of alcohol from the consumer direct to their home.
If there's a brewery that's against it, I'd love to know why. I would love
to know. I'm just actually curious.
Yeah, same. Because maybe we're missing something, because we were trying to figure out. We're like, should we do this topic? Because we didn't really have any points against it. Yeah. And let's argue, it's supposed to be one person at least is for or against. But we tried to see both sides. We can't see the other side right now. We're trying to find things we disagree about. But generally, with beer, we mostly agree on this type of thing. So, guys, thank you for that. Once again, if you're in Quebec, check out Le Terroir de Jules.
Link will be in the description.
Honestly, I'm looking forward to just shoving this in my face. I didn't want to eat too much during this because it's...
I just kind of marinated on one piece of delicious old cheddar.
The hoppy cheese was... I couldn't taste the hop, but it was like wicked texture. Nice. So this is great. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the episode, smash a thumbs up. Hit subscribe below. Hit the notification bell. Ding. So you know when the new drops. Follow us on social media at BAOS Podcast. And of course, follow Tiffany at Liquid X Happiness for all things wine, spirits, and coffee. Check out the long form audio. Apple Podcast, Spotify. We're actually doing... we call it our adjunct series, which is a type of podcast we're going to do in between our themed seasons, which of course are now postponed. We are doing adjunct series. We just dropped our first one. Oh, literally, it's going to drop in a few hours. By the time you guys see this, they'll be out, and it's going to be Tiff and I doing the podcast.
And we're doing lives every Friday at 8 p.m. until further notice.
On YouTube.
On YouTube.
So make sure you subscribe to us. If you're watching this on Facebook, head over to our YouTube. Links are always in the description. Guys, that is it. Thank you for watching. Appreciate y'all. Stay safe. Stay home. Drink great beer and wine. And as always, get it in ya.